Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants.
Hi, I'm Sandy Kreisberg, the HBS guru.
Welcome to another edition of Handicapping Your MBA Odds. Today we have a self-styled Mr. Muckraker.
Yeah.
I'll explain what that means.
Thank you.
For all of you folks out there who don't know. A muckraker is essentially an investigative journalist who rakes dirt up and then feeds it to the audience. Well, this guy may not have been a muckraker, but he likes to think of himself as one. He has a 720 GMAT, a 3.75 GPA from a top 25 university. He was a double major in econ and philosophy. And here's what he's done in the last 3 years. He's had 3 different jobs. First job, 1 year as a reporter at the Financial Times. Second job, he worked for and I'm going to read this out, as an editor for an energy commodity benchmarking and forecasting company.
Yeah, we haven't quite figured that out, but it sounds like a boutique publication that charges a lot for subscriptions to very few people.
He edits reports, probably.
Yes.
And then he now holds a senior management role at a financial news startup that serves the iBanking community.
And that's another one of these high-cost, low number of subscriber outfits.
Yeah,
yes.
Feeding hopefully inside information of some kind.
No, well, not inside information, but
not in the traditional definition, yes. Of course. Now he wants
esoteric legal information.
He wants an MBA to transition out of these sort of editorial type roles and actually move into investment banking himself in the area of power and utilities. Now, his group of schools that he's targeting: Columbia, MIT, Yale, NYU, and Georgetown. Sandy, what do you think?
What we got here is a very attractive Ivy League kind of guy. He went to a liberal arts school. He did well. He's literary. We're talking solid basics, 375, 720 GMAT. He also says he has a lot of extracurriculars around tennis. I think he was a member of the varsity team.
4 years.
Serious tennis player. He now is involved so he's a tennis-playing, Ivy League, white guy, writer type, okay? Who, this is proof of, mama, don't let your children double major in economics and philosophy, okay? If he had just majored in economics, he would have gone to iBanking right out of the gate, but instead he started at the Financial Times. Quick learner that he was, he said, I'd rather be eating these cupcakes than writing about them. And so he's then transitioned over from writer to editor for more proprietary, high price insider publications.
And he says he's doing some product development and has some management responsibilities in this new job.
Right. So he's by hook and crook and hard work and intelligence, he's transformed himself into a financial writing guru, innovator, manager, etc. So he's getting out of the writing business.
So what do you think? Columbia?
I think he should apply to Wharton. And why he omitted that, I don't know.
You like this guy then?
I like this guy, and schools are like this guy. Admissions committees are made of people like this guy, okay? Admissions committees are often liberal arts people, have an interest in business, but not a dominant interest. The fact that this guy's a writer, I'm sure he's very well spoken, he's literary, he's, liberal arts, philosophy, double major, whatever that was. I think Wharton might say, we could use a guy like this. He's smart enough. It's a 720, 375. Those might be a couple of basis points below our, normal scores, but we'll eat that in light of, the fact that this is not your typical iBanker. This guy might be more articulate, more fun-loving, more well-read than your typical iBanker.
Philosophy major, besides that econ. He's a good thinker. He's a thinker.
Well, he's
okay,
aspiring.
Like this right here.
Yes, right.
Okay, odds at Wharton.
Let me finish the analysis here. Could this guy, I'll ask you, John, since we're sharing the stage here. Could this guy get hired in investment banking with this background? That's what he wants to do. He wants to start in investment banking and then transition to what sounds like some esoteric version of private equity.
I think if he gets into Columbia, Wharton, MIT, or Yale, I don't think he's going to have a problem. He's going to have the network to get in. He's got some basic knowledge in the energy field.
What do investment bankers do? If you're an investment banker and you want to hire somebody and you want a turnkey hire, by that I mean someone who can start turning flax into gold. You know, you put them in the room and you go, okay, Chubb, here's the flax. I'm going to come back at the end of the summer and I want a few gold bars. Who do you think, what are they looking for? What skills are they looking for?
Well,
this is a worthwhile discussion.
He's got to be good at quant, and he is, because he got
It's not only quant, no, specific skills.
Analytical skills, basically.
What do investment bankers do?
They deal
model.
makers.
Those are real investment bankers.
That's true. At the associate level, you're probably not doing a lot of deal making.
Right. You're doing diligence, you're doing modeling,
Right.
you're doing Excel stuff.
Right.
So the question is, could this guy get hired? That's a question of secondary importance. What's the more important question? Does the admissions committee think he can get hired?
Yes.
That's the real
Indeed.
question.
Right.
Okay. I think this guy might be better, just as a narrative, in saying that he doesn't want to go into investment banking. What he wants to do is go into financial publishing, just like people like Rupert Murdoch, okay? Now, I would say Mike Bloomberg, but he's a millionaire owner. He didn't come up through the ranks.
Right.
But that might be an alternative career for this guy that might be more attractive to business schools. But let's say he gets his narrative real clear.
Okay.
This guy's really attractive. I mean, it could happen. He's a smart guy. I think his chances at Wharton with very tight execution. Wharton, let's say this guy was doing the Wharton application this year, where the first question is, you know, how can Wharton help you professionally? Something like that.
Right.
So for him to answer that question, he'd have to do some spiel in the first in this case, 300 words, because there's two parts. It's like, what are my professional goals and how can Wharton help me? In this guy's case, the professional goals are more important. How Wharton can help me, that's kind of just due diligence. They're making you eat the dog food and go through their website. This guy would have to take those 300 words and really in a tight way explain what he's done and what he wants to do. And then with that setup, he'd have to say, and based on that, Wharton can help me, blah, blah, blah. If he was able to execute on that, I think his chances at Wharton are 30%.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 30%. A lot of it would depend on what cohort they put him in. If they put him in the white male investment banking cohort, he might pop out of that cohort just because this is so interesting.
Yeah.
And
that's a very competitive cohort.
That's a very competitive cohort.
Especially.
Yeah, and they got people like that coming out of their pants pockets. So.
But that's why you're telling him he should say his goal is something else, because it takes him out of that highly competitive pool.
Yeah, but you could rebut that by saying even within that pool, he would still get the premium of his background.
Yeah.
They'd say, this is not your vanilla investment banker. This is a kind of peppermint investment banker. So
odds at Columbia.
Early decision, my friend, at Columbia. They would also go for the journalistic angle because they view themselves as being a journalistic, they've got a J school over there, so there's kind of a journalism vibe, and they view themselves as being in New York, another journalism vibe. So I think early decision with this guy at Columbia could be like 40%.
And then he has MIT, which of course is a much smaller class and very selective.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a feeling I can't articulate. MIT don't go for stuff like this.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as a typical MIT candidate at
Yeah,
all.
they just, maybe I'm wrong. They prefer someone either straighter or more unusual.
So 20%.
25%.
Yeah. And then he has Yale in the mix.
Yale would go for this just
Yeah.
because he's interesting, and he's got he's got Yale earmarks.
So 30% plus.
Yeah, 40% plus.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
with an enthusiastic execution.
Yeah. Okay. And the other two picks, obviously, they're going to be even higher than at NYU and Georgetown.
NYU would go for this. It's a New York story. This guy seems like an NYU type. It's somehow, it's a matter of convincing, as is often the case. It's a matter of convincing them you really want to go there. I would advise him to wag his tail, show up, go to info sessions, meet people, et cetera, et cetera.
Georgetown, no brainer.
Same thing.
Yeah. All right.
He's got to show conviction.
Okay. Well, Mr. Muckraker is going to be raking up some green after he gets his MBA at one of these really good schools. Good luck to you. And for everyone else out there, good luck on the MBA highway.